I think a new country is in birth, and we are part of that struggle.
This little tent of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little tent of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine. Keep it going.
Minor chord is a B minor chord.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let
on stage protests that get into the media. But right now, I'd like to talk about the alternative banking group. It's one of those long-standing groups. Alternative banking group has 400 members. So, although essentially we are a seminar group, we also engage in direct action. So here's what we have accomplished. We wrote a book called Occupy Finance.
We wrote a book called Occupy Finance.
So what we do is this important analysis that you don't get anywhere else. Eric Holder refused to prosecute the bankers responsible for the financial crisis. But just 2 years later, now works at Covington and Burling, law firm that defends white-collar criminals. Hence the revolving door of government and finance.
We had a major campaign for president, Bernie Sanders. The campaign was like a giant Occupy Wall Street rally, talking about the 99% and the 1%, because millions of people know that we are right. Even listen to the rhetoric of Donald Trump. This man's a Wall Street guy, a realist, a realtor, a billionaire, but yet in his speeches he would like his supporters to believe that he is a representative of the 99% and of the common man against the 1%. Even Hillary Clinton, when she speaks, right? This is the incarnation of the political establishment. But yet when she speaks, she presents herself as if she is the voice of the 99%, the common people against the 1%. You know, I remember in this park 5 years ago having arguments with people and debates, should we run Occupy candidates for office? And now 5 years later, maybe we don't have any Occupy candidates, but every candidate wants you to think that they are the Occupy candidate.
Stand up.
We were right. We were absolutely right. The whole country knows it, and the whole world knows it. It's a fact. We were right. The United States is not controlled by we the people. It's controlled by billionaires and bankers with lots and lots of power.
Amen.
And I want to say this. I have to say this. mainstream media took a while to catch on about Occupy. They didn't really think we were front page news for a little while. It took a while before people caught on about what was really going on here and the magic that was taking place in this park. But there's one TV network that was here on the first 19 days more than any other network. That TV network actually won an Emmy, an international Emmy. It was nominated for an international Emmy for its coverage of Occupy Wall Street. And that TV network is Russia Today, RT. And I'm proud to say that I work with them. I'm not ashamed of it. Obama and Hillary Clinton can bash us all they want. It's a good network doing what mainstream media doesn't do, telling the facts that mainstream media doesn't tell. This election facing the country is a disaster. It's a complete disaster. I could never vote for Donald Trump, a man who has said horrendous things about immigrants, a man who has said horrendous things about Muslim Americans. But at the same time, I couldn't vote for Hillary Clinton either. No. If you turn on the television, you watch Hillary Clinton speak, she's running an election against Donald Trump. But lately, if you listen to her rhetoric, it's almost as if she's running an election campaign against Vladimir Putin. And I gotta tell you this, you know, 5 years ago, when people were in this park, there were many different causes here. There were people talking about police brutality. There were people talking about the housing bubble. There were people talking about unemployment. But maybe you'll all have to correct me. But I don't remember anyone being in this park saying, I came down here, I'm risking arrest, I'm going up against the police because I want a war with Russia so bad, or I want a war with China so bad. Hillary Clinton is not what this movement stood for, and she has no right to invoke what these people came down here and struggled for. Well, guess what? You all are revolutionaries, because the only way we can get peace, jobs, democracy, and equality is to stand up and fight against the power of the billionaires and the bankers. It's a fact. Peace, jobs, democracy, and equality are what the billionaires and the bankers are holding back. It's what the people want, but it's what they're holding back. Look, I think one of the biggest crimes, and I'll end with this, that the mainstream media has done is it's caused Americans to forget who they are. There are a lot of horrendous things that have gone on in the history of the United States of America. Slavery, Jim Crow segregation, the slaughter of the indigenous people, but that's only half the story. If you look at the history of the United States, you'll see that there are abolitionists, and there are suffragists, and there are labor organizers. There's a whole history of progressive struggles for justice. This country began with a revolution, and there is a deeply revolutionary heritage within the American spirit. And I think that our job here is to remind the people of this country who they really are, of their revolutionary heritage, and get them to stand up and fight back. The billionaires and the bankers have got a low-wage police state on the agenda. They've got endless war on the agenda. It's time to start writing the people's agenda. I think a new country is in birth, and we are part of that struggle. Thank you.
Morning Blackout News. Welcome to Zuccotti Park. 5 years later, some of them have kids. Tell us about your, what are you up to these days?
A lot of work with the treaties with First Nations and the Two-Row Treaty, and trying to...
A lot of people think that Occupy Wall Street is dead. It certainly is not. Occupy Wall Street has fingered off into many, many different organizations that are helping people, and that's what Occupy Wall Street was meant to do, and that's what it's doing. And thank God we are here today, if there happens to be a God, that we're here today with all our friends from 2011 and others also.
But one voice, one person does not a democracy make. Folks, democracy is not a spectator sport. You gotta be in it. You gotta be involved. You gotta take a chance. Have your voices heard. Have your stories heard. Do not allow let trickle-down economics, trickle-down politics, and trickle-down life describe our lives. Let's snap out of it and wake up the people around us. Please join me later on as I tell you some stories about life fighting the powers that be. Thank you for being here, and let's keep it up. Keep it going. Thank you.
I was with Occupy Wall Street's Environmental Solidarity Working Group. We were one of the last working groups to continue meeting every week for a couple of years after they got rid of everybody from this park. And I want to connect, because Occupy was so good at connecting dots and showing how Wall Street has their little fingers in everything we do. I'm going to do that with the environment in the middle. I'm going to talk about slavery. I'm going to talk about climate change. I'm going to talk about health issues. I'm going to talk about housing. It's all related to environmental issues. I do a radio show called Ecologic on WBAI-FM. 99.5 FM, you really got to listen to it night and day if you can. And support it. It's listener supported. No corporate money for us. My last show was how people go to Malaysia and other countries to get a job, find themselves slaves. They get enslaved while they're trying to find a job. Then they're put to work deforesting the tropical rainforest, driving already endangered species into extinction, plants and animals. When I researched that show, seeing pictures of children being turned into slaves, and orangutans with babies on their back with a burning forest behind them, right? That was a heavy show to do. And the U.S., through Wall Street, is complicit in this because Malaysia had one of the worst human trafficking records in the entire world. And the State Department wanted them to be part of the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which you will hear back from other people here today. And so they changed the designation of Malaysia, saying, oh, it's not that bad, just so they could have them in the TPP, right? Look up Trans-Pacific Partnership or TPP on your smartphones or your computers and find out the horror of what the government wants to do. Because Wall Street, with all the money they make, it's not enough for them. It's not enough. So they want to get rid of environmental laws. They want to get rid of labor laws. They want to get rid of generic drugs. They want to get rid of indigenous people laws. They want to get rid of everything, internet freedom, because they want to make even more money.
Don't think it's ever enough.
So they allowed slavery to be okay in Malaysia and other TPP countries.
Hi, my name is Tommy Fox. I'm here in Zuccotti Park, otherwise known as Liberty Square Plaza, on September 17th, 2016, to celebrate the 5-year anniversary of Occupy Wall Street. I have spent my years since the park was wiped out in November of 2011 writing a book which I have entitled Occupy Life, about the Occupy Wall Street movement, about my experiences in the park in the fall of 2011, and also laying out a philosophy of Occupy Wall Street that justifies our moral indignation against the rampant corruption in the banking industry, in corporate America, and the resulting utter corruption in our political system. So this book lays it all out. This is volume 1, and I've been handing them out to participators in this reunion today. I've handed out about 40 copies to various people, and hopefully they'll read them and enjoy.
Can you find it online anywhere? Can we find it online?
No. Only hard copies. Anyway, so that's the lowdown. Occupy Life. It's a very positive take on the Occupy movement. I think that the people of America have woken up. Occupy Wall Street woke up America in the fall of 2011, and the fallout has been significant across the entire globe in terms of highlighting the issue of wealth disparity between a super wealthy elite who are 1% or even 1/10 of 1% and the rest of humanity. I think the statistics are something like, I think the Financial Times said 85 billionaires own as much wealth as 4,500,000,000 people. So there's tremendous inequality in the world, but this is only a symptom of a diseased consciousness. The consciousness of people in power manifests itself as a toleration of this unjust distribution of wealth on earth. And so wealth inequality is only a symptom of a diseased consciousness, a psychopathology. And so this is what this book is all about. And I hope you have the time to read it and enjoy it.
All right. Thank you.
I was raised Quaker. Around 2003, the news came out about the Patriot Act, that pacifists were being targeted as suspected terrorists, along with veterans and active police and military. So that's when I really started to question the Patriot Act and what was going on. And I got active and involved on the internet, message boards, and so basically people sharing information. Turns out I'm actually from Barclay Street. I grew up right there facing Building 7. So I'm from the neighborhood, and when Remember Building 7 started, it's kind of a call that brought me back to the neighborhood. I've only been coming for the meetup for about a year now, but it's been ongoing for about 10 years.
The Occupy movement was spread throughout the country, was violently suppressed. We will not forget that. Violently suppressed through a national coordination. Don't forget that, peoples. Mass arrests, rubber bullets, pepper spray, and police beatings. Tear gas were thrown at Occupy movements over and over again. In Oakland, a veteran was shot in the eye, in the face. Grandmothers and students sitting handcuffed in a line, spray paint, pepper spray, point blank here in New York City. And here in Zuccotti Park, the NYPD unleashed a military assault and dislodged nonviolent protesters. OWS has been violently suppressed by the powers that be, but this continues to escalate. This continues to escalate. The gross social inequality in the U.S. capitalist imperialist society, with its roots deeply rooted in white supremacy and the continuing legacy of slavery. I heard the question of revolution keeping forward. Let me make a personal editorial. We need a revolution. We've seen the bullshit coming down day in, day out. If there is an escalation of a genocidal trend in this country, are we just going to sit around like the good Germans did when the Jewish people were hauled away? Okay, the bell must be rung now. And you don't have to take my rhetoric for it. Do your research. Understand what is a genocide, how does it unfold, and there, look at the international definition of what genocide is.
All of these issues Occupy was inspirational and collaborative with. We want to also say that Mayor de Blasio owes Occupy for getting elected, as well as that whole progressive city council. A lot of the so-called leaders were in Occupy when we got raided. We also say broken windows breaks lives. We also say broken windows is a tax on the people and an attack on the people. So all of these things are coming from City Hall, are coming from the City Council, and this is all from our most progressive City Council and Mayor. And we also know what happened with Bernie Sanders in Brooklyn. This all happened under our progressive Mayor and progressive City Council. So what we're saying is 5 years still here, but we're here fighting for the 99%, the working class of New York City. And I'm very proud to be one of the coordinators from OccuEvolve. We want everybody to hang around all day. We're going to have food between 5 and 6, I believe. So please, stay around. We're still here. We're still fighting. We're all seeds, and Occupy will go on. Thank you very much. I love y'all.
Sad clowns. How much they have in common, that is forbidden. We privatize their humanity, bit by bit. They can no longer separate what's inside them from what's outside them. All they know, these poor, sad clowns, is that everything has a price, and they have to pay.
I used to talk from the corner there, and then for more than a year and a half, I lectured in the Canyon of Criminals to the Wall Street power brokers. What I've been saying for the last 5 years, I'm going to keep saying, we need to force a national discussion on the far left. Then we move to the organized labor movement, the great powerhouse of the United States that is crawling before the Democratic Party and has their hands shackled behind their backs is the AFL-CIO. We need a working class party to fight for socialism, but what must precede that is an insistence by the veterans of Occupy Wall Street that we have ongoing national merger conversations. Thank you for coming. Happy anniversary.
One of the original occupiers, Mike Kennedy, right now. Out here with Cynthia, one of the original occupiers.
My son just walked for the first time at the Occupy anniversary. Yes, walk to mommy. Yes, walk, baby, walk. Yes. Oh. I'm gonna always tell you that the first time that you walked was at Occupy's 5th anniversary.
Baby steps, kid. That's right. For us,
Yes, baby. Give me some more, baby. Yes. Oh my God. I love you. I love you so much. Oh my God, you're the best baby in the world. Oh, you're the awesomest.
And breathe. Now I'm in the struggle and I just can't leave. We're calling out the violence of the racist police. We ain't gonna stop till the people are free. I said we ain't gonna stop till the people are free.
I want everything.
No. People to carry their weight and contribute $1 for pizza.
We want the rich to go to jail.
I only bring it out for Occupy events.
The World Health Organization
classifies the dangers of wireless technology.
Classifies the dangers of wireless technology
As a possible the carcinogen.
Greetings in the name of His Majesty, Haile Selassie I the First, Jah, Rastafari,